What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. Have you noticed how quiet it's been in America when it comes to the fact that we just caught a whole bunch of sex traffickers and we just rescued thousands of children from a sex trafficking ring? Have y'all noticed that? Y'all notice how quiet that shit is? I mean, it should be plastered on the news every day, all day, 24/7. A massive sex trafficking ring. Man, you think it got something to do with our president, who's also involved in a massive pedophilic sex trafficking ring situation too? And he's currently using the apparatuses of the government to stop anybody from finding out that he was allegedly going on islands having sex with little children, along with a bunch of other rich white men. Have you noticed when it comes to, the deflowering of our children, that this white ran country is very quiet? Well, America, the white ran country. Have you noticed that? It's like no one cares that there's a bunch of rich men, constantly sex trafficking children. Who got the money for that? Because, that's a very expensive endeavor, Only rich people with power can do things like that. Rich people with power. Who is currently the rich people in power? White folks. It wouldn't be far-fetched to say, I bet you there's some people who was on that damn Jeffrey Epstein list, right? Who no longer have access to the pedophilic Disneyland Epstein created, now had to go to other sources, right? And probably involving this 10-year investigated, a group of people who have been sex trafficking women. I mean not women, but children specifically. That's the taste they like, children. All right. And what about it in Alabama? They just found some kids in a fucking bunker. I mean, there's a lot of that going on, and it's real quiet. I'm talking like real quiet. It's eerily quiet. It's like, are we just accepting it because it's white men's favorite pastime? I mean, and if you look at the statistics, these same white men like to talk about statistics, right? So they can skew it to make black people look bad, right? But if you use them same statistics, even the way they use it, 70% of pedos are white men. They always like little girls and little boys. I mean, and in Europe, oh my God, it's even bigger in Europe. What is it with white men and vulnerable members of society? I mean, they did it with us. Would you think they was taking, when the transatlantic slave trade, would you think they were taking grown-ass women or kids? You think them mixed babies was made by a grown man and a grown woman? No, those were kids. White men have a 500 to 600 year history of being pedos, industrially, commercially. All right. I mean, I think that's something that needs to be talked about. But let me put some information in here because it's just too quiet. I understand rich white men are the ones that run the media. That's why they don't want to talk about it, because it's their buddies. I understand the white politicians don't want to talk about it because it's their buddies and it's their brothers and it's their fathers. Like, this is a serious, they are enemies to society. Like, these people are enemies to humanity. These people shouldn't exist in life. They should get more than a death penalty. They should get tortured. And they should never be allowed to, matter of fact, they shouldn't be allowed to die. They should be tortured until they die naturally. That's what should happen. They should be tortured until they die naturally. I believe everybody should be able to torture them until they die naturally. That's what should be allowed. And and no one will feel bad about it at all. They should die by 1,000 cuts. Have you ever seen how that shit really works? Horrible. That's how they should die. And once they are supposed to die, we should resurrect. We should make sure they don't die. We should let them heal up so we can do it again. Right? That's how they should be treated. We should be allowed to flex the most lowest vibration of our natural being on them. It should be a freebie, right? Don't you think so? The same way they freely took advantage of children, vulnerable children, we should be to do the same thing to them. So that's all I'm saying. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
According to my research, which will very soon be revealed next week, they've rescued so far 35,000 tender-age kids. How you like that? Now, according to Ms. Hopper's research, which I find fascinating, and everybody up here should, 70% of the documentation turned in by so-called sponsors, which were lined up by who? The NGOs. Through who? Primarily HHS. It was a pipeline, man. We fed a pipeline of tender-age children into sex trafficking and slave labor into our country. We're finding these kids. We're tracking this fraudulent documents. You're right, Ms. Hopper. My research showed a little bit less, 65%. You said 70%. I'll go with 70. So be advised. Be advised. We are building out case files, criminal case files. We're interviewing these 35,000 kids, and we're finding out exactly what the hell happened, how they ended up in the nightmare where they were, and we're rescuing more. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. We're going to identify these children, we're locating these children, we're rescuing these children, and we're building out criminal files based upon the testimony of these young teenagers and the documentation of fraudulent vetting. And many of these NGO employees are going to find themselves wearing orange, be their new favorite color. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the indulgence. I yield.
37,000 children. That's right, 37,000 children were rescued in the last 6 months here in the United States. Guess where they came from? Across the border. They got trafficked. They got trafficked into different ways. Labor, the other one. It's disgusting. Nobody really heard about it because it wasn't on the media. But you guys heard all about the guy at the Coldplay concert, didn't you? It was everywhere. It was on every news channel. You guys heard all about the Kardashians, what they've done this month also. All over. Please share this post and get this out to more people. That there was 37,000 people, children, tender age, rescued from trafficking. Of the worst of kind, too. If you guys want to see the video that I'm referring to, it's Clay Higgins. He's a representative of Louisiana. You can find it by typing into your TikTok bar right up above, 37,000 children rescued. You'll see Clay Higgins. He's sitting down, he's testifying, he's doing his testimony about these children. And it's absolutely disgusting. I really, really hope you guys share. I really hope you guys comment. And I really hope this video goes somewhere.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says 10 children ranging in age from 3 years old to 15 years old are known to be victims in a child trafficking ring happening off of Aaron Drive. Sheriff Jody Wade believes that this all began in 2022, even though an investigation wasn't started until 5 months ago.
No child deserves this. That's the most horrible thing you can do, the power and control of it, the stealing the innocence of a child and the horrible victimizations they went through with these monsters.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office released these pictures from inside of the bunker. You can see a bed with a dirty mattress and a few chairs, as well as a small chest of drawers with a kitchen appliance on top. Sheriff Jody Wade says the children were not kept permanently in the bunker, but the timing of how long they were in there at one time would vary.
It depends on what appointment time the offenders had. Sometimes the children would be there, tied to a pole that was there, bound to a bed that was there, or in a chair that was there. Sometimes there would be multiple people that would come by and victimize these children on a nightly basis.
According to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, the investigation began in February after the Department of Human Resources received a claim of child abuse at a home on Aaron Drive. The Sheriff's Office discovered abuse was happening in a partially underground storm shelter detached from the house, which is what investigators refer to as the bunker. Wade believes this case could have ties to the Serrano gang, a gang he says gets most of its money from child trafficking. According to the Sheriff's Office, the suspects could make up to $1,000 a night victimizing the children.
For the younger kids, I'm hoping this is a blurry memory because some of the statements of the children, they were unable to remember certain things, and then things would come to mind. And some of the older children, yeah, they'll carry this vividly for the rest of their lives.
Wade says the lead investigators on this case have been working nonstop since the abuse was discovered. He says they're all fathers themselves.
It's been heartbreaking. It's very sad. We don't want to see any children ever have to go through this. God puts us at the place that we need to be put at that time, and I think me and Justin, our agency, has been put there, and we're going to do everything we can. And my only message to all of the victims, know we are fighting for y'all.
Sheriff Wade says this is an ongoing investigation. He expects there to be more arrests and more victims as it continues.
Here's one fascinating potential explanation as to why Donald Trump doesn't want the Epstein files released. We've speculated that he's in it, but what? What's in it? Well, here's some of the subject matter that might be hiding in there. So one accuser of Jeffrey Epstein is now speaking out, talking to the New York Times about the fact that over the course of literally years, she told the FBI that they need to look into Donald Trump about particular experiences that she had, things that she witnessed. And so this goes all the way back to the summer of 1996. Maria Farmer is the accuser. And so she goes to the FBI and says that she's been, she's experienced terrible things at the hand of Jeffrey Epstein. So she said that when she went and talked to them, first to the NYPD, then with the FBI, she urged them to take a broader look beyond just Epstein to the wealthy, powerful people in his orbit, including Donald Trump. She eventually went back 10 years later to warn them, because obviously that hadn't really happened. Now, 2006 is when we're like state and federal authorities are getting into looking into Jeffrey Epstein. That resulted in his first sweetheart deal, the really suspicious deal that has begun really all of these conspiracy theories, is why he was treated so nicely by the government in that case. But anyway, she said that she had no evidence, like direct evidence of criminal wrongdoing, but she said she was alarmed by what she saw as Mr. Epstein's pattern of pursuing girls and young women while building friendships with prominent people, including Mr. Trump, sorry, MAGA, don't go anywhere, and President Bill Clinton. Okay, you back? You feel you could get Clinton. Okay, don't back off. You could get Bill. Okay, you might have to get Trump too, but you can get Bill, okay? And I think that's a fine trade. I'll do that trade. But anyway, she talked about one particular encounter she had that involved Donald Trump. So this occurred in 1995 as she was preparing to work for Mr. Epstein. She said that late one night, Epstein called her into the office, his offices in Manhattan. She arrived in running shorts. Trump then shows up for some reason, super late at night, when work is supposed to be done, wearing a business suit. I don't think he's wearing a business suit. I think he is a business suit. Has anyone seen him in anything else? I don't think so. He's like a never nude. Under his suit is another suit. There are dozens of us. Anyway, he started to hover over her and he started staring at her bare legs. Now, that's not a crime or whatever. It's skeezy, but just bear in mind, he's staring at her legs. We're going to return to that in 1 sec. So then Mr. Epstein comes in and says to Mr. Trump, no, she's not here for you. So credit to Epstein, I guess, that he's warding Donald Trump off of this potential employee of his. However, that sort of does imply, does it not, that sometimes Trump shows up to the office and they are there for him.
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.